Ever woke up in the middle of the night, unable to move, with a chilling sensation of a malevolent presence around you? Welcome to the eerie world of sleep paralysis, a phenomenon that's as old as sleep itself, yet retains its air of mystery and fear. It's estimated that around 50% of people will experience sleep paralysis at least once in their lifetime. That's half of us who will know the terror of waking up, eyes wide open, but trapped in a body that refuses to obey. Picture this. You're fast asleep, lost in the world of dreams, when suddenly you're awake. But something's not right. You want to sit up, to run, to scream, but your body is locked in place as if bound by invisible chains. This is sleep paralysis. And it's not just the paralysis that's terrifying. There's a weight on your chest, making it hard to breathe, as if something unseen is sitting there, pressing down on you. And then there's the presence, that feeling of being watched, of being not alone in your room. Some people even report seeing dark figures, hearing whispers, or feeling a touch that sends chills down the spine. It's as if the shadows in your room have come alive, and they're closing in on you. But what causes this terrifying phenomenon? Is it simply a quirk of our sleeping brain? Or is there something else at play here? Science tells us that it's a result of our brain waking up before our body does, leaving us trapped in a state of semi-consciousness. But there are those who believe that it's not just a biological hiccup, but a brush with the supernatural. So, the next time you find yourself frozen in your bed, your heart pounding as the shadows in your room seem to grow darker, remember this. You're not alone in your fear. Millions around the world have felt what you're feeling. And maybe, just maybe, there's more to it than just a bad dream. What if these horrifying experiences are not just figments of our imagination, but something far more sinister? Enter the witch, or the hag, a nocturnal creature of southern folklore, who brings nightmares to life. This mystical figure is shrouded in eerie tales and whispered legends passed down through generations. The witch or the hag is not your typical fairy tale villain, but a being that is said to shed her skin under the cover of darkness and ride the backs of her unsuspecting victims. Have you ever had a terrifying dream, felt pinned down, unable to move or scream? According to Southern lore, you've encountered the night hag. What we now understand as sleep paralysis, our ancestors interpreted as a visit from this dreaded creature. This lore is deeply rooted in Southern tradition, passed down through countless generations, evoking fear and intrigue in equal measure. The hag, once a seemingly ordinary woman by day, undergoes a transformation when the sun sets. As the moon claims the sky, she sheds her human skin, revealing her true, terrifying form. Stealthily, she seeks out her victims, those who are deep in slumber, oblivious to the impending terror. Climbing onto their backs, she delivers a horrifying paralysis, a sensation of being physically restrained but mentally alert. This is the hag's ride, a chilling journey through a waking nightmare. This nocturnal visitation isn't a random act of terror, it's a deliberate, calculated move. The hag selects her victims, often choosing those who are experiencing stress, anxiety, or fear. She feeds on these emotions, drawing strength from the terror she instills in her victims. Over centuries, these tales have been woven into the fabric of Southern culture. They've shaped bedtime stories, cautionary tales, and even inspired works of literature and art. Despite the terror they instill, these stories of the night hag provide a fascinating glimpse into how our ancestors tried to make sense of the unexplainable. So, is it possible that the hag of folklore and the dreaded sleep paralysis are one and the same? As we delve deeper into this mystery, the lines between science and the supernatural begin to blur. But that's a story for the next scene. Could sleep paralysis be the work of these nocturnal witches? Or are there other supernatural forces at play? Well, let's delve into the supernatural theories surrounding sleep paralysis, which are as diverse and fascinating as the cultures they come from. From the ancient demonic possessions to the modern tales of extraterrestrial kidnappings, sleep paralysis has been interpreted in countless ways, each one as chilling as the other. In many cultures, sleep paralysis is thought to be the work of malevolent spirits. Take for instance the Kanashibari of Japan, where victims are believed to be bound by invisible threads by vengeful spirits. Or the Siam of Thailand, where a ghost suffocates you in your sleep. These stories, passed down through generations, reflect an ancient belief in demonic influence. But it's not just about demons and spirits. Over the centuries, as mankind looked towards the stars and wondered about life beyond Earth, sleep paralysis took on an extraterrestrial dimension. The feeling of being held down, unable to move or scream, has often been attributed to alien abductions. This theory became a cultural phenomenon, particularly in the Western world, during the late 20th century, with numerous accounts of alien encounters during episodes of sleep paralysis. It's also worth noting that many who experience sleep paralysis report seeing shadowy figures, feeling a dreadful sense of presence, or even sensing a malevolent intent. These experiences, while they may not fit neatly into any one theory, certainly add to the supernatural aura that surrounds sleep paralysis. While these theories might seem far-fetched to some, they are deeply ingrained in many cultures. And for those who experience these terrifying episodes, the fear is very real. And let's not forget, just because something cannot be scientifically proven, doesn't mean it doesn't exist. While science might dismiss these theories, the experiences of countless individuals suggest that there might be more than meets the eye. After all, in the world of the supernatural, anything is possible. Science, however, offers a different explanation for the terrifying phenomenon of sleep paralysis. As we delve deeper into this, we find ourselves exploring the intricate workings of the human brain during sleep, specifically during the rapid eye movement, or REM phase. During REM sleep, our brains are almost as active as when we are awake. This is the stage when most of our dreaming occurs. But have you ever wondered why we don't act out our dreams? Well, that's where the brain's protective mechanism comes into play. Our clever brains release certain chemicals that essentially put our voluntary muscles into a state of paralysis, preventing us from physically responding to our dreams. Ideally, this paralysis should wear off as soon as we wake up. However, in the case of sleep paralysis, there's a slight delay in this process. This means that a person wakes up before the brain has had a chance to turn off the paralysis, resulting in a temporary inability to move or speak. Now, you might be wondering, what triggers this frightening mismatch? Well, several factors can increase the likelihood of experiencing sleep paralysis. Stress and lack of sleep are significant culprits. They disrupt our sleep patterns and can lead to an increased chance of waking up during REM sleep. Certain medications, especially those that affect serotonin levels in the brain, can also increase the risk of sleep paralysis. But here's an intriguing question to consider. Does this scientific explanation fully account for the terrifying experiences of those who suffer from sleep paralysis? It explains the paralysis itself, but what about the intense feelings of fear, the feeling of a malevolent presence, and the vivid hallucinations that often accompany these episodes? We must remember that the brain is a complex organ, and its workings are still not fully understood. Could it be that there's more to sleep paralysis than just a glitch in the brain's protective mechanisms? Could there be something else at play that we're yet to discover? Whether it's a witch, a demon, or just a trick of the brain, how can we protect ourselves from the terror of sleep paralysis? It's a question that's lingered in the minds of many who've experienced this terrifying phenomenon. But fear not, for there are ways to combat the night hag and reclaim the tranquility of our slumber. First and foremost, maintaining a regular sleep schedule can work wonders. It's simple, but effective. Our bodies thrive on routine. Going to bed and waking up at the same time each day helps keep our internal clocks in sync, reducing the likelihood of sleep disruptions. Next, let's talk about stress. It's no secret that stress wreaks havoc on our sleep. Finding healthy ways to manage stress, such as exercise, meditation, or even just talking to a friend, can significantly reduce the frequency and severity of sleep paralysis episodes. What we consume can also have an impact. Substances like caffeine and alcohol, especially close to bedtime, can interfere with our sleep cycles. So it might be wise to swap that late-night coffee or glass of wine for a calming herbal tea. Now, for those who lean more towards the supernatural explanation, there are a myriad of spiritual practices believed to ward off the night hag. Some people find comfort in prayer before sleep, asking for protection from any malevolent forces that may lurk in the shadows. Others might keep protective amulets or talismans by their bedside, imbued with the power to repel evil entities. Remember, the goal is not to eradicate sleep paralysis entirely. That's a tall order, even for science. The goal is to reduce its frequency and severity, to take back control, and to replace fear with understanding. So, whether your approach is practical, spiritual, or a bit of both, there's no one-size-fits-all solution. It's about finding what works for you and sticking with it. Armed with knowledge and a few practical tips, we can turn the tables on the night hag and reclaim our peaceful slumber. Sleep paralysis, a terrifying phenomenon that blurs the line between the natural and the supernatural. This is where we find ourselves, at the crossroads of reality and the inexplicable. We've journeyed through the dark corners of sleep paralysis, delving into its eerie symptoms, the chilling lore of the night hag, and the theories that bridge the gap between our world and the realm of the supernatural. Sleep paralysis is an unsettling experience, a state of semi-consciousness where one is awake but unable to move or speak. It's as if an unseen force holds you down, an invisible shroud that binds your body to the bed. It's a fear that transcends cultures, threading its way through history and folklore. Then there's the chilling figure of the night hag, a creature woven into the fabric of southern lore. It's said that she sheds her skin and mounts the backs of sleeping victims, adding a supernatural dimension to the already frightening experience. The night hag is a spectral presence, a nightly tormentor that transforms dreams into nightmares. Then there are the theories that attempt to explain sleep paralysis from a supernatural perspective. Some believe that it's a doorway to other dimensions, a bridge between the physical world and the spectral realm. This perspective offers a tantalizing, albeit frightening possibility, that our nighttime paralysis is a brush with entities beyond our comprehension. On the other hand, science offers a more grounded explanation. It views sleep paralysis as a glitch in the transition between sleep stages, a neurological hiccup that leaves us trapped between wakefulness and dreams. We also explored practical tips to combat sleep paralysis, from maintaining a regular sleep schedule to practicing relaxation techniques. These are tangible actions that you can take to reclaim control over your sleep. While science continues to explore the mysteries of sleep paralysis, perhaps it's wise to keep an open mind about the unseen forces that may lurk in the night. After all, we are but small creatures in a vast universe, and the line between the natural and the supernatural may be more blurred than we think.